Hey everybody, Sean here from Board Paracord. Today we are going to make a camera strap for your camera, and it's going to be one that goes around your wrist, and then there's a little lead that goes up to your camera so that if the camera slips out of your hand, it just falls and your wrist will catch it with the strap. So it's very easy to do. You do need a way to connect the paracord to the camera when it's all finished. We will be attaching a key ring to this at the very end. Some cameras have a big enough hole where the neck strap that comes with the camera attaches to, and if that hole is big enough, then the paracord can go through that. If not, then a key ring is the other option. Let's see here. So I have about 12 feet. You could probably get away with around 10 or so, 10 to 12 feet of paracord. This is what we call thin red line. That's the color name. What we need to do is put the two ends together, and I'm going to brighten this up just a little bit here. There we go. And with the two ends together here, I'm just going to put my finger in between the two cords and pull all this cord between my fingers so that I can find my center point, which is right there. Now this is the attachment point for the camera. So this is how much of a lead do you want from where it attaches to the camera to where your wrist, basically the bracelet that goes around your wrist, will be. So if you look at it like this, attachment point, lead, and then this is the bracelet that goes around your wrist. So in this case, I want about that much for my lead. And then from here, so once you figure out how long you want the lead to be, you need to measure from there to where for your bracelet part of it. So what I'm going to do is lay my wrist right on top of it, wrap the cord over to the back side, and from here to here is what my bracelet is going to be wrapped or woven around, from here to here. So from here to here is the lead section, so this section here, and then from about here, and I think it was about here, from about here to here is going to be the bracelet section. So the first thing we need to do here, and let me see, let me make sure I'm doing this right. Alright, so just trying to remember how to do this in my head. Okay, I think we can flip it over here. We'll weave down this way. Okay, yep, I'm doing it correctly. That happens sometimes. Alright, so we have from here to here, like I said, your lead. From here to here is your wrist strap. So where your measurement for your wrist ends, that's where we're going to start doing the weave. So you're going to just fold these two over so that you have your lead this way. Actually, those are going to come straight down, just like that. And then you're going to have your long end here. This is your working end. This is the bracelet section and the lead. And I know this is kind of confusing now. I hope it makes sense. So this is what we're going to weave around. This is the section of the wrist strap. And all I've done is folded these two ends over where we're going to start. So we have our right working end and our left working end. So to get started, we're just going to do a simple Solomon. So you want to create a loop with the right working end, cross that cord over the two center strands, and give it a pinch there. Now this is my left working end. We're going to cross over top of this cord here, bring this cord around the back of the two center strands and up through the loop on the right. And then we're going to pull this tight. Now we're going to come back to this, but this needs to be pulled tight. And you should have something that looks just like that. Now we're going to just repeat that process, starting on the opposite side this time, and each time you start a new pass, you're going to start on the opposite side, so it's going to zigzag. So now we're on the left side, create a loop, cross over the 2 center strands, bring that cord to the right. Now take that right cord over that cord, take it around the back, and bring it through the loop on the left. And go ahead and tighten that. Alright, we'll do one more, and then there's a little step we need to do, because you can see there's a little bit of a gap here. So now we're on the right side. So create that loop on the right, bring the cord to the left. Now take your left cord over the right cord, bring it around the back and through the loop, and tighten that. And we're going to do this down until we have enough to basically wrap around your wrist. Now, we at some point will need a little bit of slack in here. So what I'm going to do is just pull about, and I'm just pulling these center strands. So these center strands right here are now being pulled this way with this one and with this one. So if I were to pull on the center strands, you can see those tighten up. So you want to give them some ears and just leave that like that. And we're going to come back to this in a little bit, but it's easier to do now than to try and pull it through while it's all woven around it. Alright, so now we're on the left side again. So loop on the left, cross the 2 center strands, bring it to the right, right cord over left, around the back through the loop. Pull it tight. Now it's on the right, because you can see it goes through and comes out this side. Create the loop to the left, cross over, behind the back, through the loop. And we're just going to do this until we get to our mark, which is about right here. So we're going to weave the same pattern all the way until about here. And then, so let's do a couple more here. So you have that instruction. So a loop on the left, cross it, go around the back, pull through. Now we're on the right side, loop over the middle, left cord over right, around the back and through the loop, pull it tight. Now we're on the left, so start on the left side, right over left, around the back, through the loop. Now we're on the right side, so loop on the right, cross over, around the back, through the loop. Okay, so I'm going to go down. Let me back this up just a little bit here. So I need to weave this pattern until I get to about halfway. I think that'll give me enough. Yeah, that'll be enough for a wrist strap. And you're not making a complete bracelet, and you'll see what I mean with that after I get to a certain point. You'll be like, oh yeah, you don't need a whole wrist strap, a whole bracelet. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this down to about here, and then I'll be back to show you what we need to do to finish this up. Okay, so you can see I wove this down, or wove it down until about here. We have about, I don't know, about 8 inches of the lead here. This is actually a little longer than the lead, but we're going to do something to make this a little shorter, and you'll see that in just a moment. Now what we need to do is we can go ahead and finish these ends here. So with a pair of scissors, what you want to do is cut. You want to cut as close to the bracelet or strap as you can with a nice sharp pair of scissors. I'm using a torch lighter here just to melt that end. And then I've got a smoothing tool here. Where is it? Let me see if I can get this smoothing tool. It's stuck to a piece of tape. There we go. Alright, this is a smoothing tool. If you don't have a smoothing tool, number one tool that you will use is a smoothing tool. And they're pretty cheap too. I think we sell them for $4. Alright, so I'm going to cut this off and I'll show you how to use a smoothing tool. It's pretty easy. Very handy little tool. So after you melt your end, like that, use a smoothing tool to kind of round it over. And what that does is it makes it nice and smooth so that it doesn't irritate your skin when you're wearing it. Alright, so now what we need to do is take this end through this end. And what will happen is when you pull on it, it'll tighten up like that. So we'll have something that looks like this, and then we'll have the lead that goes to the keyring or straight to the camera. So in order to get it through here, what you need to do is the best way to do it is with a pair of needle nose. And you want to go through the opposite way, and we need to be above this strand here on this side, so the top strand that crosses and the top strand that crosses on this side. Let's see if I can zoom in a little better here. Yep, so this very top strand here, we need to be below that and below this one. But then, not only that, but if you pull these up and out of the way, and that's why I loosened these two, is so that we had a little bit of wiggle room here. But if you get these two strands up out of the way, you can see the two inner strands. Well, we also need to go in between those two center strands. So now if you push your needle nose through, you end up with a hole in the very center. So you're in the middle of the two center strands and you're below the two end strands, going the opposite way that you need the cord to go. So it should look like that from the top. These are the two strands that are going to keep it from moving. Now what you need to do is grab, so once you're through, you need to open up your needle nose, put your cord in there, and just pull it through, just like that. Real simple to do. So now we're through there, and now this moves pretty freely. It's not tight at all. So the way to fix that, back up a little here, is you want to grab hold of your lead, just like that, and we're just going to push the weave down. So we're just sliding this weave, and we're just pulling it all the way to the end right here, and we're kind of just bunching this up with a bunch of cord. So you can grab, see how I just pushed all that cord back down to this end, and it kind of stiffens up the whole thing a little bit, but it also makes it so that when you pull this, you can see and hear it that it's a little bit tighter now right there. So you'll have this on your wrist, just like that. Tighten it up, and then this end will go up to where the camera is, and that should be plenty of slack. And then to take it off, you just loosen it. So in order to attach this to the camera, like I said, you'll either have the camera ring that's already mounted to the camera. In our case, we're going to have a key ring. So to attach it, we'll act as if this is the camera, so we can't really move this too much. So you'll put your ring through and open up this whole loop here and just pull your whole wrist strap right through that loop. And that will attach to your key ring or to your camera. Then you would just attach the ring to your camera, and that's excuse me, and that's basically it. So yeah, there's not a whole lot to it. It's actually pretty easy once you figure out what you're doing. This again is the thin red line paracord. Looks kind of orange maybe in this, but it is red. And keyring. So I hope you like this. I don't know why I haven't done this one ever, but it makes sense. I wish I would have had one of these quite a few times, just carrying around my camera. Makes it a little less stressful if you don't have to worry about dropping it. So I hope you like this. I hope you find it useful, and I hope you make your own for your cameras. If you do, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you would change about it, because this is just the most basic version of this. There are so many ways that you can add to this to make it better, to add different features and all sorts of things. So yeah, let me know what you think of it in the comments, and please don't forget to subscribe. It really does help. And until next time, paracord on. Do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button to your left. There's other great videos all the time, and there's a few to the right side of the screen, and you can also buy paracord at our site with the link at the bottom left. Thank you again for watching.